Welcome to Does It Get the Point Thesis Edition for the AP Government Argumentative Essay. Constructing a good thesis is probably one of the more important things you're going to do on this essay because it establishes the argument of the rest of the essay and the categories of analysis. So you can't afford to write a bad thesis. And credit where credit is due, everything I'm about to show you was published by the College Board, and the link to the document is in the description. All right, let's jump in. Here's the prompt we're going to consider. The power of the executive branch in relation to the legislative branch has varied over time. Develop an argument that takes a position on the appropriate balance of power between the President and the Congress. And then they give you three documents you could potentially use for evidence: the Declaration of Independence, Federalist 51, and Federalist 70. Now let's look at some theses and try to determine whether they earn the point. And remember, in order to earn the point, the rubric says that the thesis must respond to the prompt with a defensible claim or thesis that establishes a line of reasoning. Now there are three things in that explanation you should pay attention to. First, it responds to the prompt, and that means that the thesis needs to be on topic. If you write the most magnificent thesis about bureaucratic overreach, it won't matter because that is not what the question is asking. Second, a thesis needs to put forth a defensible claim. And that means that your argument has to be factually accurate. Like if you say that the president has the power to rule with an iron fist like Genghis Khan, that would not be accurate. And third, a thesis must establish a line of reasoning. That just means you need to show how or why your defensible claim is true. So let's jump into the thesis. Thesis number one: the power of the executive and legislative branches of government are important because there is a balance of power. Think about it. Does that earn the point? No. And here's why. Is this thesis making a true statement? Yes, there is a balance of power between the two branches. But that's not what the prompt is asking. It's asking you to develop an argument about the appropriate balance of power between the two branches. So this thesis does not earn the point because while it does state a fact, it doesn't make an argument. And really, this thesis is just restating the prompt, which is a big no-no in AP government writing, no matter what your 9th grade English teacher told you. Okay, thesis number two: the executive branch is the most effective branch of the government because the president has many constitutional powers. Does this get the point? No. Why? Because it is totally irrelevant to the prompt. I mean, technically, this thesis makes a true statement, even as vague as it is. But all it does is talk about the effectiveness of the president. Again, the prompt is about the balance of power between the legislative and executive branches, so no point for you. So the first takeaway after these two theses is this: make sure that you are responding to the question that they are asking, not the question you wish they were asking. Okay, thesis number three: the power of the executive should be strengthened relative to Congress because Congress is slow to react and sometimes ends up in gridlock. Does that get the point? Heck yes, it does. I mean, look, it's actually talking about the balance of power between the executive and legislative branches. It also makes an argument, namely that the executive branch should be more powerful, and then it establishes a line of reasoning. In other words, it shows why the executive branch should be stronger. Congress is slow and sometimes ends up in gridlock, and that is exactly what you need to do. All right, let's look at one more. The power of Congress should be strengthened relative to the president because Congress is the representative of the will of the people. Does that earn the point? Yes. It does everything the previous thesis did, but notice it's actually making the opposite argument. This student is saying that Congress should be more powerful than the executive, and both of these earn the point even though they're making opposite claims. And so what should you take away from that? Well, within the realm of factually correct theses, there is no right or wrong answer. There are only well-argued answers and poorly argued answers. And a well-argued answer starts with a good thesis. Now, right here is a playlist that's going to help you understand how to score well on all the writing you'll need to do on the AP government exam, so you should absolutely check that out next. I'll see you around. Heimler out.